Bailey Greenlee and Alex Preston leading off the inning, leading off the ball game. The middle of the order will feature Alexia Denby, Jasmine Dodd, and Alex Massey. So the 4 through 6 hitters are all different for game 2 than they were for game 1 for the Hornets. The middle, or the bottom of the order rather, features Kiana Parrish, Jamaica Flowers, and Madison Myers. And in the DP spot is Olivia Brown. Brown on the roster as 15, but we've been told she'll wear number 21 today. The starting pitcher for the Hornets will be Bailey Greenlee. So Greenlee will hit and start in the circle, and Brown will be the DP and will be in that DH/DP role for the Hornets here in game 2. Mississippi State will have Kenley Hawk to start things off in the circle. Kenley Hawk, the right-hander, has thrown an inning and 2/3 through the first 5 games of the year. Has given up 2 base hits, 1 earned run, has walked 1, struck out 2, has an ERA of 4.20 here in the early going of the 2022 season. And she fires a strike in against Kendall Duramus, and game 2 underway. First pitch at 3:43 Central Time. Ball lifted over to the shortstop, and right place, right time. Madison Kennedy makes the play. Was already drawn in from standard depth at her shortstop position because Duramus is a slapper. And she'll stay at that depth, even with the bags. Now she'll back up some against Bailey Greenlee, who can slap, but is more of a power slapper. And she hits one over to Kennedy, who throws after grabbing it off of one hop and throws to Mia Davidson in time to get the out. And quickly, 2 gone here in the top of the first. So Hawk in the circle. There you see number 53. The right-hander getting her first home start here in 2022. Facing the catcher, Alex Preston, for Alabama State. Hawk, a 5'10" junior from Palestine, Arkansas. That ball goes high and inside, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes on Preston. Ball lifted towards the gap in right center. It'll be a base hit. Cutting it off is St. Clair, and she gets it in quickly to hold Preston to a single. A solid base hit, though, for Preston, and the Hornets have a base runner here in their first at-bat. A 2-out single, and Alexia Denby, the second baseman, now steps in. Did not play in game 1, so Denby getting her first action, her first plate appearance of the entire day here in the top of the first of game 2. Big cut at a rise ball for strike 1. This is the first start of the season, 3rd appearance for Hawk in the circle. So not just her first home start, her first start period on the year. Fagan got the start in game 1, and Hawk the start here in game 2. So Samantha Ricketts, pitching coach Josh Johnson, trying to give Aspen Wesley and Annie Willis a bit of a breather here in this midweek doubleheader. How about that? Strike 3 and a 1-2-3 inning for Hawk as she retires the side in order. We go now to the bottom of the first. No score yet as we take a look at the lineup for Mississippi State. They will have Briley St. Clair, Chloe Malaulu, and Mia Davidson to lead things off 1-2-3. The middle of the order will be Paige Cook, Matalasi Fahapito, and Kiki Edwards. So Fahapito, the only difference in the top half of the Bulldog order, top 2/3 of the order, from game 1 to game 2. She did not hit in game 1. She did, though, get the save as a reliever in the circle in game 1. The bottom 3 of the order, McKenna, Kennedy, and Moreno. So Jackie McKenna, Madison Kennedy, and Shane Moreno. Moreno, Kennedy, McKenna, bottom 3 in the order. So 1 through 9, Malauulu, Davidson, Cook, Fahapito, Edwards, McKenna, Kennedy, Moreno. They'll face the starting pitcher for the Hornets, Bailey Greenlee, who we saw as a position player, or really the DP, in game 1 for the Hornets. So we've called her name often already today, but now we'll get to see her in action in the circle, the two-way player for the Hornets. Her record on the year, 1-1. She's thrown 11 2/3 innings on the season already. It's a lot of work just 5 games in. 11 2/3 innings, 10 hits allowed, 5 earned runs allowed. She's walked 4, struck out 19. Overall, solid numbers for the right-hander Bailey Greenlee, who will face the red-hot Briley St. Clair to begin the bottom of the first. Greenlee misses outside, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to St. Clair, who was the offensive leader for State in game 1, had 3 hits, drove in a couple of runs, scored a couple of runs, had a really good outing in that 10-4 Bulldog victory. Grounder foul, first base side, strike 1. Count now moves to 2 balls and a strike. The battery for the Hornets, Greenlee in the circle. And behind the plate is Preston. So Preston, junior from Stockton, California, catching game number 2. 3 balls and a strike. Hitters count to St. Clair. And she draws the walk. A leadoff walk drawn by Briley St. Clair, who continues to be a get-on-base machine here in the first week of action of the 2022 season. And she's a good runner. So speed on the base paths now for State. No one out as Chloe Malauulu steps in. First plate appearance against Greenlee. Nice strike at the knees. The starting infield for the Hornets features Massey at first, Denby at second, Parrish at short, Flowers at third. Off speed, rise ball, stays high. Malauulu takes it, count evens up. So Denby and Massey, the right side of the Hornets infield, different from game 1. So Bama State mixing it up a little bit. Chopper to short, only plays at first, and the throw is there in time. That essentially works like a sack bunt, as St. Clair is now over in scoring position. Malauulu is out on the play, 6-3. Parrish to Massey. So runner on in scoring position, less than 2 outs, and here comes Mia Davidson. The veteran right-handed hitting catcher slash first baseman. One of the best to ever suit up for the Bulldogs. Hits one right through for a base knock. Stopping at third, though, is St. Clair because Doremus got to that ball in a hurry. And because the ball was hit to that side, St. Clair had to wait a second So no chance to score, but a base hit, and now runners at the corners. Less than 2 outs after the single from Mia Davidson. And it brings up the sophomore, Paige Cook. Cook hits one into center field. Coming in and making the grab is Myers. Tagging is St. Clair, and she is out. What a great defensive play by Alabama State. A double play on a fly ball to Myers, and a great throw in to home plate to record the out. Tag applied by Preston, and St. Clair, who has very good speed, not fast enough to score on that play. So 0-0 is our score in that home half of the first for State. No runs on one base hit. There were no errors, and one was left on. We head now to the top of the second. No score yet here at News Park. Hawk back in the circle for the Bulldogs. She'll face the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Dodd, Massey, and Parrish for Alabama State. Jasmine Dodd leads off the top of the second for Alabama State and takes ball 1 from Kinley Hawk. Dodd, Massey, Parrish, 5 through 7 due up this half inning for the Hornets. If anybody reaches, the 8-hole hitter Flowers will step in. That ball is going to get through. Off the bat of Dodd, sneaks through and into the State outfield. So Dodd will get on base safely. And that brings up Massey. We didn't see Massey in game number 1. So Massey's first plate appearance. The Hornets had a runner on, this time no one out. They got a runner on base in their first at-bat, but that was a 2-out single. Couldn't do anything with it, trying to drag a bunt, advance the runner. Ball goes foul, though, and the count is 0-2. Foul ball again. In game 1, the Bulldogs jumped on top 5-0 in the first couple of innings. The Hornets trying to draw first blood themselves here in game 2. That ball goes down and in, gets away from Hawk, and hits Massey. So a hit by pitch, and the Hornets are in business. They got 2 on, no one out here in the top of the second. And it brings up the shortstop, Kiana Parrish. The temperature is starting to drop a little bit as the clouds really cover the sky and the wind picks up. Wind right now blowing hard straight out to center field. We'll see if that plays any kind of a role. Now you see it shifting a little bit out to left, but blowing briskly in the outfield. 2 on, no one out. Parrish, the shortstop at the plate. Try to put a bunt down and bunts it foul. Jackie McKenna catching the ball game today for State goes back there and could not catch up to it though before it made contact with the netting. 0-2 the count. Grounder foul will do it again. Parrish, a good swing to stay alive. That ball's high. So Hawk trying to get out of a jam here. Dodd, a leadoff single. Then Massey hit by the pitch. Both are on base right now. Check swing. Did she go around? No. Yes, she did go around. Tried to hold up on the rise ball, but could not. She went around, and the count is now. Actually, that was strike 3, wasn't it? Yeah, it sure was. That was the way she reacted fooled me. She didn't know it was strike 3. I didn't either. So a strikeout for Kinley Hawk as Parrish unable to check the swing. And she'll head back to the dugout. Big out to get for State. And now Flowers will step in, the junior right-handed hitting third baseman. Jamaica Flowers, strike 1 to begin this plate appearance. A base hit might give the Hornets their first lead of the day. Swing and a miss, chased that rise ball and falls into the hole. 0-2. Flowers, a .250 hitter on the year, 1 for 4 on the season. So limited sample size here in the early going for Flowers, who has not been a starter in every game on the year for the Hornets. The Hornets and the Bulldogs have both mixed and matched their lineup cards here through the first 6 or 7 ball games of the season. That pitch misses up and in. Trying to paint the inside corner, and Hawk just missed. And the count now 1-2 on Flowers. Flowers has struck out twice on the season, drawn 1 walk. And there you go, strike 3 called. Flowers disagrees. She was frozen that time, clearly not expecting that location. So back-to-back strikeouts for Hawk. The first 2 batters of the frame reached, but Hawk has come back and struck out the last 2, and now 1 out away from getting out of the jam without any damage done as Myers steps in, the 9-hole hitting, slap hitting center fielder. A .250 hitter on the year. She is 2 for 8 on the season with an RBI. Puts 1 down the line. That was a good idea. Trying to bunt one right over the head of the hard-charging Moreno. Had the right idea, but could not quite execute it cleanly. That ball was just a couple of feet foul. Third base side. 0-2 now the count. Myers has tremendous speed. That was going to be easily a bunt single had it gone fair. That misses off the outside corner. Good pitch, but a good take by Myers. 1-2 now the count. Hawks still up in the count. Infield drawn in. Davidson, Kennedy, Cook, Moreno. The Bulldog infield. Mala'ulu, St. Clair, and Edwards, the Bulldog outfield. They're playing shallow as well against the slap-hitting Myers. You've got the very dangerous Doremus in the on-deck circle should Myers keep the inning alive. It's a big moment here early in the ball game. That is a swing and a miss, and Kinley Hawk strikes out the side. Got 2 on base, no one out, and then came back with 3 consecutive strikeouts to get out of the inning. Nice job by Hawk. We go to the bottom of the second here in Starkville. No score between the Bulldogs and the Hornets. We head to the bottom of the second here in Starkville. Leading off the inning for the Bulldogs, making her first plate appearance at home in a Bulldog uniform, is Matalasi Fahapito. She takes a hack at the first pitch and fouls it back third base side for strike 1. Fahapito has started every game but one. Did not start game 1 of this doubleheader today. That was the first ball game of the year where she did not start. She still played in the game, came on as a reliever in the circle, got the save. Her first save of the season. Now getting a start offensively here in game 2. Takes a strike, and the count is now 1-2. Offensively, Fahapito 1 for 10 through the first 4 games of the year. That one hit, a home run, in her first plate appearance as a Bulldog in that victory over Loyola Marymount last Friday. So first at bat as a Bulldog and had a home run. It's a good way to start your career at Mississippi State. Ball comes in, it hits her. Yeah, nicked her on the leg. It hit by a pitch, a mistake pitch there by Greenlee, and Fahapito is on at first. Second consecutive inning where the Bulldogs have had the leadoff hitter reach base safely. And now I would imagine Samantha Ricketts will use a pinch runner. She comes out of the Bulldog dugout and is having a meeting with the home plate umpire. And we're all assuming that a pinch runner will emerge from the Bulldog dugout, and that's exactly what's happening. So Florian will come out of the Bulldog dugout. That's Allison Florian, not to be confused with her sister Phoebe Florian. Allison Florian coming in as a pinch runner. We've seen her now in 4 games on the year for State, including an appearance as a pinch runner in the ball game earlier today. And just like that, the Bulldogs reached base yet again. So Florian came in to run for Fajapito. Edwards stepped up to the plate, and she was immediately hit by a pitch. So State has 2 runners on, Florian at second, Edwards at first, McKenna, who is catching the ball game this afternoon at the plate. Still no one out, so an opportunity here for the Bulldogs to get on the scoreboard. Hard hit ball, deep but foul. Crushed that one, did McKenna to left, but hit it foul. Jumped all over that pitch. Couldn't straighten it out, though, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes on the Bulldog catcher, McKenna. McKenna, now a senior. Takes that ball high, gets away from the catcher. Both runners advance. Florian over to third, Edwards over to second. So 2 runners on now in scoring position, still no one out. And now a chance here for McKenna just to simply put the ball into play somewhere in the outfield. Could easily score Florian from third base. Even a ball hit to the right side of the infield might score Florian with the speed she has. 3-2, got a full count on McKenna. McKenna looking for her first hit of the season, 0 for 8. Hits one hard, but again, pulls it foul, this time way foul. And we'll do it again as she stays alive. Count remains 3-2. Bulldogs playing at home here at News Park. This is the 7th season of this facility that was opened in 2016. Ball 4. So with first base open, Greenlee issues the walk. But that also means the bases are loaded. So Greenlee running into some issues here in the home half of the second. The Dogs have bases loaded, still no one out. And it brings up the Bulldogs shortstop, Madison Kennedy, who tries to check a swing to go around. No, she did not. They appeal. Third base umpire says, nope, didn't go around. Ball 1 to Kennedy. Right on the outside corner. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. Bulldogs record at home since 2016. Very impressive. They have won well over 70% of their home games here at News Park, dating back to opening day of 2016. That pitch is high, so the count 3-1, nowhere to put Kennedy. And that misses inside. A bases loaded walk drawn by Madison Kennedy. And that's how the scoring gets started here in the bottom of the second. Dogs on top 1-0. That'll be an RBI walk drawn by the shortstop Kennedy. And still no one out. And now a chance for a big inning as Shea Marino steps in. Grounder to the shortstop. That'll score a run. Only plays it first. And State manufactures run number 2 as Edwards scores. And that'll be an RBI for Moreno. And that's the right thing. You get up there, you know you've got a runner at third, less than 2 outs. Simply put the ball in place somewhere and make the defense decide where to go with the ball. The ball was hit deep enough to short that the only play was at first, and State is now on top 2-0. Just 1 out. Here comes St. Clair. Ball off the pitcher's glove over to second. Throw to first in time, but that also scores a run. So State doing a good job manufacturing some runs here. Station to station softball. They're on top 3-0 and gives St. Clair another RBI and a quality at bat. And it brings up Chloe Malaulu. Malaulu, the Bulldog left fielder. We've seen her play a couple of outfield spots today. And she draws the walk. So Greenlee quickly walks Malaulu, and it brings up Mia Davidson. So an RBI opportunity here. Davidson, a base hit her first time up. Was left stranded, though, back in the first inning when the Bulldogs were thrown out trying to score on a fly ball to center field by Myers to end the inning. Sun begins to peek through the clouds here in Starkville. 4:16 local time. Pop up. Carries out to center field. Not deep enough, though, to do anything. And Myers makes the grab. The inning is over. State, though, scores 3 runs on just one circle for the Bulldogs. She's been good through the first couple of innings. Has given up a couple of hits, but no runs in the first 2 innings. 4 strikeouts, no walks. In fact, walks have not been an issue really for any of State's pitchers so far this season. Grace Fagan issued a couple of walks late in game 1 today. But outside of that, walks have not been a problem at all for State's pitching staff. Defense drawn in against the leadoff hitter in the inning and in the order, Kendall Doremus. Doremus, a .444 hitter and a traditional slap hitter at the top of this Bama State lineup. 0 for 1 today. Shows bunt, takes it, and the pitch misses. Ball 1. Looks like State's made some changes in the outfield. I noticed Kiki Edwards, when she scored last inning, came up limping a little bit as she walked back to the dugout after scoring. And so she is not, I don't think that she's in the outfield right now. So we'll get that defensive change for you momentarily. Strike is called. Damaris thought it was ball 4. Count was 3-1. She thought it was ball 4. Instead, it was called for a strike. She has to walk back. I mean, she had tossed the bat and everything. Now you got to pick up the bat, regroup, get ready, and you strike out. How many times do you see that? When a hitter thinks that they've drawn the walk and they're called back to home plate, how often do they strike out on the very next pitch? It happens a lot. So a big strikeout there for Hawk, her 5th of the ball game already. And she strikes out the toughest out in the lineup for the Hornets. And it brings up now the number 2 hitter and the starting pitcher as well today for the Hornets, Greenlee. A .375 hitter on the year. With as well as she hits the ball and with as many innings as you think she'll throw this season for the Hornets, she has to be considered at least potentially, their MVP. And she's being asked to do a lot for them here in 2022. 0 for 1 so far today is Greenlee. She popped out to the Bulldog shortstop Kennedy her first time up. Slaps one the opposite way and foul out of play for a strike. 0-2 the count. And the Bulldogs have put Fahapito in the DP position. And they have moved Florian into left. So Florian, that's Allison Florian, goes to left to replace Edwards. And then Fahapito re-entered into the DP spot where she was pinch run for by Florian earlier today. And the Mala'ulu simply moves from left field to right field. There we go. So your outfield now for State, from right to left, is Mala'ulu, St. Clair, Florian. The infield, for the moment, remains the same. Alex Preston now at the plate. 2 gone in the inning. The catcher for the Hornets, a .286 hitter so far this year, hits one hard right back to the Bulldog dugout. And that's why they have those guardrails up there, to protect the players who are standing on the top step of the dugout. They installed those here a couple of years ago. Used to not have those. You had to really keep your head on a swivel. Ball comes in and almost hits her. Preston just has to get out of the way and barely did so. Looked as if she may have actually swung the bat, but on appeal they say that she did not, which I think is the right call. Hard hit ball, drops in for a base hit. Cutting it over is Florian. Trying for two is Preston, and she'll get there. A double for Alex Preston. An extra base hit for the Hornets. First one in the ball game. Second one today. And they have a runner on in scoring position. So Alexia Denby steps in, trying to give the Hornets their first run of the game. She'll need a 2 RBI or a 2-out RBI base hit to do so. Swing and a miss, big time cut. Throw down to second base, and it hits the runner. And the ball gets away. And all the way at third base now is Preston. So Preston ends up at third base now, and now a wild pitch, a pass ball, and the Hornets might be able to manufacture a run. McKenna snapped third on to second base, and Cook was late to cover the bag, and the ball just hit Preston on the hip. So just to clarify the lineup changes now for the Bulldogs, it's just simply Edwards being moved from the outfield to DP. Florian inserted in for Edwards, and Mala'ulu moves over from left to right. Kinley Hawk gets the out. The Bulldogs get out of the inning. Good job by Hawk to once again get out of a jam with runners on in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the third, and Kinley Hawk having a nice outing in the circle. 6 strikeouts for the Bulldog pitcher. 3-0 is the score. Mississippi State leads Alabama State. Bottom of the third coming up as Cook, Fajapito, and Florian are due up. And we'll see if that lineup stays the same. Fajapito probably can't come up to hit because Florian pinch ran for her, and she stayed in the ball game. So we'll figure it all out. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters, how about that? Middle of the order coming up for Mississippi State here in Starkville. Paige Cook leads off the inning for Mississippi State. Dogs on top of Alabama State, 3-0. I'm Anthony Craven, glad to be with you here on a Wednesday afternoon, first home softball games of the 2022 season here at News Park in Starkville. Cook, followed by Fajapito and Florian. So Fajapito can stay in the game because she was not pinch run for last half inning. I misspoke. It was not. Florian actually ran for we'll get this straight here. Florian ran for Edwards. Yeah. Hard hit ball by Paige Cook. Deep to left, but a nice grab. A nice grab at the wall. And the out is recorded. Nicely done by Damaris. Well, Damaris is a good player. Just good defensive player, good offensive weapon, just a really good college softball player. So Cook gave it a ride, but she is retired, and now Fajapito will step in. Right-handed hitter. Was hit by a pitch her first time up. Grounder, sharply hit. Gloved at short, though, and thrown across in time. Out is recorded by Parrish. And so pretty quickly, 2 gone here in the home half of the third, and it brings up Kiki Edwards. So essentially, Florian and Edwards are just flip-flopping here. So Kiki Edwards back up at the plate. So because Fajapito re-entered to hit just a moment ago, that means Allison Florian is now been taken out of the ball game and cannot re-enter. So we'll see who ends up going into left. Because Edwards got the start in the outfield, then was taken out when she came up a little gimpy after scoring a run last inning. But here she is back at the plate. Good swing, chopper, hard to field, and Parrish cannot glove it cleanly. Took a hard, weird bounce. And on the exchange from the glove to the hand, Parrish never really had it. Never had it, never could attempt to throw, and that will allow Edwards to reach base safely. And that'll be an error charged to Parrish. So in E6, both teams have committed an error so far in the ball game. 3-0 Dogs on top, and Edwards will stay in. And we'll see how well she runs if McKenna can put the ball in play. Jackie McKenna, Bulldog catcher. Hits one high into the air, shallow and left. Going back is Jasmine Dodd leads off the top of the fourth for Alabama State. Hawk back in the circle for Mississippi State. Through 3 innings, Hawk has allowed 3 hits, but no runs. No walks and a very impressive 7 strikeouts. Has given up 1 double and 2 singles, but nothing has crossed the plate so far today for Alabama State. So with a really good start to this one, Hawk has now lowered her ERA on the year to 1.5. Misses outside. 2 balls and a strike on Dodd. Dodd, Massey, and Parrish, the 5 through 7 batters for the Hornets. Dodd 1 for 1 today. Ball in the dirt. Ricochets off McKenna's padding. 3-1 now. Hitters count on Dodd. A .375 hitter on the season. 3 for 8. A good start for her offensively. Left-handed hitter. Not a slapper. Left-handed power bat. Foul ball, left side. We'll do it again. Count now full. Had an RBI single. Well, not an RBI. Had a single up the middle. I can't read my own handwriting sometimes. Swing and a miss. Hawk is really feeling it now. 8 strikeouts for the right-hander. And Dodd heads back to the dugout. No one on, 1 gone as Massey steps up to the plate. Alex Massey, 5'5" junior from Pottsboro, Texas. Takes ball 1, a little high. Was hit by a pitch, was Massey. Her first time up today. That was back in the top of the 2nd. That's when the Hornets had 2 on base, no one out, but then Hawk came back and struck out the side after that. Massey 1 for 10 to start the season. Bounces one into the Bulldog dugout for a strike. That ball lifted back off the net into the catcher's mitt. 1-2 the count on Massey. The Hornets out hitting the Bulldogs so far in this one, but nothing to show for it. They have not been able to get that elusive extra base hit or 2-out base hit. Meanwhile, the Bulldogs only 1 hit, but they've drawn 4 walks. And have been able to get the ball put into play and manufacture a couple of runs. And they lead 3-0. Foul tip. Massey really doing a good job staying alive, fighting off a couple of pitches, protecting the plate with a 2-strike approach. Hard hit ball, but right at Mia Davidson. The first baseman flashes her glove skills. She can do it behind the plate and do it at first base too. Just a great athlete. Mia Davidson robs Massey of what could have been a base hit. So no one on and 2 gone now for the Hornets shortstop, the right-hander Parrish, who is 0 for 1 today. 0 for 1 in the ball game at least. Struck out her first time up. Takes that ball down and in, ball 1. High velocity drop ball that time from Kinley Hawk. Pitch a little high. 2 balls and no strikes on Kiana Parrish. Parrish committed an error earlier in the ball game. Did not hurt the Hornets, though. Lifts one into shallow center. Diving grab made by Briley St. Clair. And she had to make a long run because she was playing standard depth in center field. And that ball was just a little blooper. And St. Clair made up a lot of ground and made that grab to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on. And Kinley Hawk cruising through the first 4 frames in the circle for Mississippi State. 3-0 Bulldogs on top, and they'll be at the plate in the home half of the 4th with the 8 and 9 hitters, Kennedy and Moreno, followed by the top of the order, the aforementioned Briley St. Clair, as we return to Starkville in just a moment. The lights are on now at News Park. Starting to get a little dark here as we are nearing the 5 o'clock hour in the Central Time Zone. I'm Anthony Craven, and we are heading into the home half of the 4th inning. Mississippi State leads Alabama State 3-0. Madison Kennedy will lead things off offensively for the Bulldogs. The veteran shortstop, right-handed hitter. Drew a bases-loaded walk for an RBI her first time up today. That was her first RBI of the season. High fly ball, not very deep though, left side. Edge of the grass, and it's dropped. And getting all the way to second base because she never stopped running is Kennedy. That ball was dropped by Parrish. Parrish having a difficult time at shortstop today. Couple of errors now. Charge to the normally sure-handed Parrish. Good hustle by Kennedy. Boy, she never stopped running. And ends up all the way at second base after the error. So the Bulldogs have a runner on in scoring position with no one out. And it brings up Shea Moreno. Moreno had her first hit as a Bulldog in Game 1 earlier today. A solo home run to straightaway center field. Hard hit ball, foul though, first base side. Almost landed in the dugout of the Hornets over there to our right. Bailey Greenlee remains in the circle for the Hornets. It's been feast or famine for Greenlee. She's been really good in the first and third innings, but ran into some issues in the second, and so far her defense has let her down here in the fourth. Hard hit ball into right, coming in and making the catch is Dodd. Not moving up is Kennedy. So a hard hit ball, but it got held up in the wind just long enough. Allowed Dodd to run in and make the catch. 3 1/3 innings in the circle for Greenlee today. Has allowed 1 hit and given up 3 earned runs. Has walked 4. That's been her biggest issue. 4 walks, no strikeouts. The Bulldogs have put the ball in play often here in the first 4 at-bats. And now the top of the order is due back up. Briley St. Clair. St. Clair 0 for 1 in the ball game, but has driven in a couple of runs. Hits one into left, drifting foul and out of play. Well, nope, it stays in play, but running out of room there was Parrish. Couldn't catch up to that one. 1-2 the count on Briley St. Clair, who has been seeing the ball very well, hitting 500, or almost 500, through the first 5+ ball games. Greenlee simply wasted that one out there, trying to see if the slap hitting St. Clair might get a little aggressive and chase that one. And the count evens up at 2-2. That pitch misses. Greenlee at that time tried to come back inside. Now the count's full. I called St. Clair a slapper just a minute ago. She really has evolved, though, into becoming more than just a slapper. You'll notice her batting stance actually is not that of a slapper anymore. Lifts that one into left and almost getting there and making a nice catch, but unable to hold on is Damaris. Damaris got there right by the fence where the field knocks up against the brick facade of the balcony over there in the players' lounge area for Mississippi State, and got a glove on it but couldn't hold on to it. Now St. Clair goes opposite way on the ground this time and fouls it off. Flowers at third base got there, but the ball had already gone foul. So the at-bat continues. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With Kennedy at first base, second base, less than 2 outs. St. Clair right side, gloved at second, thrown to first in time. So Denby makes the play there and throws over to the new first baseman, Joseph. So Joseph is your new first baseman, replacing Massey for the Hornets. And it's Lewis now playing shortstop. I thought that was a different number out there. Hard to tell from my vantage point. So Lewis is the new shortstop, Joseph the new first baseman. And now you have a runner at, well, now it looks like they might put Parrish back out there. Yeah, so Parrish came out after she committed an error last inning. They put Lewis in there. Lewis misplays the pop-up earlier this inning, and now Parrish is back in there. Okay, then. Strike delivered to Mala'ulu, looking for a 2-out base hit to drive in State's 4th run of the night. They lead 3-0 at the moment, bottom of the 4th. Outside corner, nicely done by Greenlee. And she gets out in front, 0-2 on Chloe Mala'ulu, who is 0 for 1 today, 3 for 15 to begin the season. with a couple of runs, one walk. Hits one fairly deep, right center field. Ranging over, though, is Myers, and she makes the catch. And so Greenlee gets out of the jam. A runner on in scoring position, but no one out. And she comes back, Greenlee does, and gets the Hornets out of that situation unscathed. So 3-0 our score remains. After 4 innings of play, we go to the 5th inning, and it will be Flowers, Myers, and Doremus, 8, 9, and 1, due up for Alabama State. Again, the 5th inning here in Starkville. Got a close one here in game number 2 of our doubleheader. Game 1 was not close, 10-4 the final, with Mississippi State defeating the Hornets to even up the records for both teams at 2-3. There you see the third-year head coach of the Hornets, Todd Bradley. Savannah McKellen and Kelsey Baker, the other coaches, your 2 assistants. Baker in her 1st season, McKellen in her 2nd season. So the Bulldogs have made some changes defensively again. Looks like you got Purvis at first base now. Difficult play, throw to first in time. Wow, nicely done by Madison Kennedy. That was a 3-hopper up the middle, past the circle. And Kennedy got there in time to make the play. Close play at first base, but out by a half step was Myers. So as I was saying, Purvis, that's Addison Purvis, is now playing at first base. So she replaces Mia Davidson at first because Davidson is now over at third. So Mia Davidson moves to third. Purvis comes in to play first. And that means Moreno is out of the ball game at the moment. And I believe that is all the changes. Looks like the Bulldogs have put Kiki Edwards back in at right field. So Edwards came out just for, 1 inning, 1 half inning, and was replaced by Florian. She was checked out by trainers, now back in there, which is always a good thing to see. So Edwards in right, Mala'ulu back in left, St. Clair remains in center. And now you got on the infield from left to right, Mia Davidson, Madison Kennedy, Paige Cook, and Addison Purvis. With McKenna still behind the circle, swing and a miss, and Hawk in, or behind the plate, and Hawk in the circle. And that should have been strike 3, right? Okay, they must have had the count wrong on the scoreboard. Yeah, now it's a 2-strike count. Okay. Our score bug was right. Scoreboard was wrong. Swing and a miss. Strikeout recorded by Hawk. Give her 9 Ks in the ball game. And Hawk continues to pitch incredibly well here in the ball game. 2 gone in the top of the 5th, no one on. And here comes the top of the order back up. Doremus with Greenlee in the on-deck circle. Doremus steps in 0 for 2 in the game. First pitch swinging, contact made, foul ball, left side, strike 1. You look at what's on the horizon for Mississippi State. They've got coming up their first of 2 or 3 home tournaments. They got the Bulldog Kickoff Classic this weekend, where they will host Southern Illinois, Central Arkansas, and Georgia Tech. They'll play the Salukis and Central Arkansas on Friday. They'll play Central Arkansas and Georgia Tech on Saturday, and then play a single game with the Yellow Jackets on Sunday. We'll have at least the Saturday games for you here on the SEC Network. The matchups with Central Arkansas and Georgia Tech on Saturday, February 19th. No one on and two gone. Got a 2-2 count on Kendall Doremus. Her average at 421, a robust 421. 8 of 19 so far on the season, off to a red-hot start for the Hornets. Has driven in 3 runs, has scored 6 times this season. Has a couple of doubles, 6 singles, has struck out twice, and has walked once. One of those 2 strikeouts came just 2 innings ago against Kinley Hawk. 2-2 pitch, and knocking it back up the middle for a base hit is Doremus, rather. So Doremus goes right back up the middle into center field. Umpire came out to check the ball. So a 2-out base hit from you-know-who, Doremus. Hornets on base. That means the tying run is now in the on-deck circle for Bama State as Bailey Greenlee steps in, trying to aid her own cause. She is the pitcher of record as it stands right now for the Hornets. Stepping up to play, or to try to get on base, rather. Swing and a miss, and she quickly is in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Greenlee today in this game, 0 for 2. But on the year, .353 hitter, 6 of 17, with a couple of triples and a double. Has struck out 4 times, though, on the year. Has not drawn any walks. So she is an aggressive swinger of the bat. Swing and a miss. Strikeout, chasing one upstairs. Kinley Hawk gets strikeout number 10. A double-digit strikeout outing for Kinley Hawk as she continues to keep the Hornets off the scoreboard. 3-0. Your score of Bulldogs. They scored all 3 of their runs in the second inning. In the first, third, and fourth innings, Bailey Greenlee has done a good job in the circle for the Hornets. She has been their most used pitcher on the year. You can see why. She's been effective in keeping State off balance, except in that second inning when she issued a couple of walks, and State did a good job of putting the ball in play and manufactured a trio of runs, and so far they've made it hold up. As we are now into the 5 o'clock hour here in the east part of Mississippi, the Golden Triangle area. Mia Davidson leads off the inning for Mississippi State. High fly ball, not very deep though. Over in left center, and coming over is the left fielder, Doremus, to make the catch. So Mia Davidson is out on a fly ball to left. 1 gone and no one on, as the Bulldogs will now use, I believe, Aquana Brownlee. So Aquana Brownlee will pinch hit in place of Paige Cook. You've got Flowers. Meanwhile, defensively, Flowers is back at third base. Wilcher played third base just for one inning for the Hornets. I forgot to mention she was out there last inning because the ball was never hit her away, so we had no idea she was there, or at least I didn't. But now Flowers back in there. So Flowers back at third, and you have Ashley in center field right now. And now you have Brownlee at the plate. So both sides, both teams using a lot of players, which is typical in game 2 of a doubleheader. Trying to give a lot of players different playing time. Play them in different positions, different roles. Trying to see this early in the season who can do what. Because you never know when you might be flexible later on in conference play. It's still so early in the year. Both teams, and really everybody, I would imagine, across the country is still trying to figure out who they are, what their identity is, and how they can mix and match the lineups. Brownlee hits one deep to right center field and gone. Aquana Brownlee sends one out of News Park. A smash the opposite way to right center field. A home run for Aquana Brownlee, her first hit of the season. A pinch hit home run. And the Bulldogs have opened up a 4-run lead here in the home half of the 5th. Great job by Aquana Brownlee. No home runs last year for Brownlee. Was used in 19 games a year ago. Had 2 hits in 7 at-bats. Scored 5 times. Had 1 run driven in. Both of her hits last year were singles. And then she comes up on opening day at home for the Bulldogs at News Park and gets a pinch hit home run to right center field. What a moment for her. And she flew around those bases too. She did not waste any time. Pumping her fist and celebrating her first homer of the year. 4-0 Dogs on top. And Matalasi Fahapito steps in once again. Hit by a pitch back in the second. Grounded out in the third. So she is officially today 0 for 1 with the hit by pitch. On the year, 1 for 9, couple of ribbies, 1 run scored, no walks, 4 strikeouts. As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, her 1 hit on the season, a solo home run in state's opening ball game of the year last Friday. Grounder sharply hit off the glove of Flowers. Throw across is going to be just in time. It's a good job by Flowers to recover after initially knocking it down but not cleanly fielding it. And so Fahapito is retired on the putout, 5-3. And the Bulldogs will now bring up another pinch hitter. It is Selena Daniel. So Daniel steps up. We saw Daniel as a pinch runner in the game earlier today, that 10-4 Bulldog victory. And now we'll see her as a pinch hitter. Number 25, Selena Daniel, a 5'7" freshman from Houston, Texas. Part of that highly ranked recruiting class signed by the Bulldogs in the offseason a year ago. Now getting a chance to receive some early playing time. Looks like we got a little bit of a mist falling outside. Hard to tell for sure, but yeah, looks like it's raining a little bit. Daniel hits one down the line. Fair ball to the wall. Selena Daniel, a stand-up double. And the Bulldogs back-to-back pinch hit, extra base hits. And a great job by Daniel. And she's on base. And that is the first hit of the Bulldog career for Selena Daniel. Her first collegiate base hit. And it comes in Starkville, a double down the line. And the Bulldogs are threatening to go on top by go on top by 5 or more right here with Jackie McKenna stepping up. McKenna has one hit on the season, looking for more. High fly ball, foul territory in left and out of play. And McKenna's been out in front of most of the rise balls thrown by Greenlee today. Greenlee having an issue finding the strike zone right here against McKenna. She and the catcher got a little crossed up. So Aquana Brownlee led off the inning with a home run. Oh, I'm sorry, there were already 2 outs, and then Aquana Brownlee hit the home run. That pitch misses outside. Okay, I'm gonna get it straight. My scorecard is so hard to read. It's game 1 for me, y'all, so be patient. 1 out was recorded. Then Brownlee gets the pinch hit home run. Then Fajapito grounds out to third. And then Daniel, the pinch hit double. And now McKenna at the plate with 2 outs and 1 on base. And she is fighting, trying to get on base for the first time today. Came into today's doubleheader 1 for 10. Did not get a base hit in game 1 and is so far 0 for 1 here in game 2. Foul tip to stay alive. Good fight-off swing that time by McKenna. So some rain, light rain, moving into the area. Shouldn't impact the game at all, though, but it is going to drop these temperatures a little bit, especially now that the sun is setting. That ball misses high and outside. But Greenlee, I think that time, was trying to go to her out pitch. That rise ball that's been on the outside corner, just couldn't locate it. Now the count's full, 3-2. Hard hit ball, right side, foul territory. Could be a play, but then it lands right in that Bermuda Triangle. Dodd, Joseph, and Denby all gave chase. No one could catch up to it. So McKenna will stay alive for at least 1 more pitch. Count remains full. 4 2/3 innings thrown by Bailey Greenlee today. 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned. And again, McKenna gets that bat around just fast enough to get a piece of it and foul it off to the right side. And she remains alive at the plate. 4 walks issued by Greenlee, no strikeouts. She has given up a couple of extra base hits, a double and a home run, both coming this inning. Grounder sharply hit, foul left side this time. So McKenna just cannot get it timed out correctly. But a nice battle going on here between she and Greenlee, with Daniel on at second base for State. Grounder to third. Gloved and thrown across in time. Flowers defended the hot corner well that time, and the inning is over. In the inning, 1 run on Aquana Brownlee's solo shot to right center field. And we go to the bottom of, or to the top of the 6th, rather. The score 4-0. Bulldogs on top of the Hornets. We go to the top of the 6th in Starkville. Mississippi State 4, Alabama State 0. Leading off the inning for the Hornets is Alex Preston, the catcher. Preston followed by Denby and Dodd, 3, 4, and 5 in the order. If anyone reaches, Joseph, the first baseman and 6-hole hitter, will be due up. Hawk remains in the circle for Mississippi State. She has thrown 5 innings and has kept the Hornets off the scoreboard. Has scattered 4 base hits, has not allowed a single run, has not walked anyone, and has struck out 10 batters. Just a really impressive outing in her first start of the season. Preston in the ball game today, speaking of impressive, has been 2 for 2. A single in the first, a double in the third. Swing and a miss. And the count evens up 2-2. So good on good right here. Hawk in the circle, Preston at the dish. Ball comes up and in, count is full. So Preston's 2 base hits in the ball game this evening give her 5 hits on the season. 5 of 15, 4 RBI, 3 walks, 1 strikeout. Swing and a miss. Hawk retires Preston for the first time today. That was a really good pitch. And that now gives Hawk 11 strikeouts. She has kept the Hornets off balance at the plate all evening long. And now it looks like the Hornets will put Leah Richardson in at the plate to pinch hit. So Leah Richardson, who was the starting first baseman and cleanup hitter in game 1, gets a pinch hit appearance at the plate here in game 2. Ball misses down and in. Ball 1 to Richardson, who on the year is looking for her first hit. Only has 4 at-bats. As I mentioned in the earlier broadcast today, was used sparingly in the Hornets opening weekend last weekend when they played 4 games at home as part of their own Stinger Invitational there in Montgomery. Was used sparingly, but then played the entirety of the ball game earlier today And now a pinch hit appearance at the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. Swing and a miss. Over the top of that one. Might have foul tipped it. Strike 1. The Hornets have more hits than State, but nothing to show for it. Have not been able to string some hits together. That one is just bulleted right into the Hornets dugout. And you hope everyone's okay. Boy, that ball somehow snuck right through that crack. It's hard to get a ball into the dugout here at News Park with the way the barriers are constructed. But that ball did not ricochet. It went straight through one of those small openings and into the dugout. And the dugout got quiet there for a moment, but now I see some players standing up and laughing, so hopefully that means the ball did not directly strike anybody and everyone's okay. Just to be safe, one of the trainers walked over there from the Bulldog dugout over to the Hornets dugout and to check. Swing and a miss. Richardson strikes out. And Kinley Hawk in the zone. 12 Ks for the right-hander. ERA for the season now drops to below 1, 0.95. And now Jasmine Dodd steps up. Left-handed hitting right fielder for the Hornets with no one on base and 2 gone. That ball misses downstairs, ball 1. Dodd in the ball game this evening, 1 for 2, had a single up the middle in the second, then struck out her last time up in the 4th. On the year is now 3 for 9. That's easy math, 333 batting average. Also a 333 on base percentage. So she's not drawn, no walks. Yeah, so she has been either putting the ball in play or getting a strikeout. Not a patient approach, at least early on this season, for Jasmine Dodd. And now this little light rain mist continues to fall. And it was such a nice afternoon, too. And now as the sun begins to set and you get more cloud cover, the wind picks up, light rain, and all of a sudden you're reminded that, yes, it is February. Not springtime yet. Ball gets away. Going to be ball 4 anyway. So a free base issued to Jasmine Dodd. She's on for the second time this evening. And it once again means the Hornets will have the tying run in the on-deck circle. They've had that a couple of times now, but have not been able to get that elusive 2-out base hit. So Milan Joseph, who was inserted in as the new first baseman for the Hornets last inning, gets her first plate appearance. I don't think Joseph this might be her first at bat of the year. Got to double check. And has not registered an official at bat this season. So Milan Joseph, 0 for 0. How about that? No hits because she has no at bats. A sophomore from Stockbridge, Georgia. And she has the count even at 2-2. With 2 outs Runner on at first base. Dodd is the runner. You've got Parrish in the on-deck circle. Takes strike 3, inside corner at the knees. Joseph completely frozen on that rope from Kinley Hawk. Strikeout number 13, lucky number 13 for Kinley Hawk. And she is pitching a gem here in Starkville. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs 4, Hornets 0. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Anthony Craven, live in Starkville, Mississippi. Opening day at News Park for SEC softball, Mississippi State and Alabama State in a pre-conference SEC SWAC showdown. A doubleheader. The Bulldogs took game 1 10-4, and they are enjoying a 4-0 lead at the moment in the 6th inning of game 2. Montana Davidson will lead things off for the Bulldogs. A pinch hit appearance for Montana, the veteran from North Carolina and the older sister of Mia Davidson. An everyday starter last year for the Bulldogs. But with the emergence of Moreno on the team this year, Davidson has, at least in the first 6 games of the season, not being used as often as she was last year. That's a good problem to have if you're Samantha Ricketts. Have the new player come in and beat out the veteran. Montana Davidson, though, in this at-bat, laces one right down the line and left. How about that for the veteran? A double to lead off the home half of the 6th. What a nice piece of hitting. Just lined it right in between the bag at third and Flowers, the third baseman. And that is the first hit of the season for the senior Montana Davidson. And that will bring about a pitching change, I believe, for the Hornets. Greenlee, you can't close the book on her just yet, but she goes 5 innings and gives up 4 earned runs on 4 hits. Walks 4, does not record a strikeout. And the runner at second base, Montana Davidson, is her responsibility. And she will hand the ball to number 21, Olivia Brown. So Brown, who was the DP, so this is not someone coming into the game. Technically, Brown's been in the game as the DP, and they have simply chosen not to play her until now. So now she becomes the pitcher, and Greenlee will move to the DP spot so she can stay in and hit. So essentially, Brown and Greenlee just swap places on the lineup card. Meanwhile, looks like you've got Denby at second base. So she's been reinserted into the lineup after she was pinch hit for by Richardson last inning. So Addison Purvis now steps in. Purvis gets an at-bat here late in the ball game. Home half of the sixth. Runner on at second base. No one is out. And now time is called. Wanting to come out and have a conversation is the Hornets assistant coach, Savannah Michelin. Going out there and getting Olivia Brown to lighten up a little bit. So Brown in the circle, Purvis at the plate, Montana Davidson on base at second, no one out. Sixth inning, ball game 4-0, Bulldogs on top. Ball gets away from the catcher. And ending up at third base now is Montana Davidson. So now Purvis can put the ball anywhere in the outfield, well, just about anywhere in the outfield. And that can score the all-important fifth run of the ball game for State. Ball gets away. Looked like Brown just lost her grip on that one. Count is 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes to Addison Purvis. Her first at-bat of the ball game. She's 1 for 3 on the season. Catches the inside of the strike zone. No, they're going to say illegal pitch. Or did it hit her? Or was it simply ball 4? That was an odd. Either way, Purvis is at first base. The call the umpire made behind the plate seemed to indicate a strike. But it was ball 4, so either I misinterpreted his call or it did catch the strike zone, but it was called as an illegal pitch. And that's probably what it was. It was ruled an illegal pitch and ball 4. And that's why you had the conversation between the umpires and Todd Bentley. So runners at the corners, no one out. Riley Hull steps up. And she will pinch hit for Briley St. Clair. So Hull hitting in the leadoff spot in the lineup now for St. Clair. Grounds one foul left side for a strike. In the hole she goes, 0-2. So an opportunity right here for State to create some separation. They have been unable to really pull away in this one. If they can score a run or two right here, it would really make things incredibly difficult on the Hornets as we head to the top of the 7th. High and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wasted 0-2 pitch that time from Brown. The numbers on the year for Olivia Brown. This is her second appearance, first in relief this season. She's gone 4 innings on the year, has allowed 3 earned runs on 4 hits, has walked 1, no strikeouts. Teams are hitting .250 against her, and she has a 5.25 ERA. Grounder right side, gets through for a base hit. That'll score Montana Davidson. Stopping at second is Purvis. That is an RBI single for the freshman Hull. And the Dogs on top 5-0. So Riley Hull picks up a pinch hit RBI single. And how big have the pinch hitters been today for the Bulldogs? 3 pinch hitters have recorded RBI base hits, or either an RBI base hit or an extra base hit in this ball game. Chloe Mala'ulu now steps in. Still no one out. You've got 2 on, representing runs 6 and 7. Mala'ulu hits one to left center field off the wall. Hits the top of the wall. Purvis rounds third. Throw will be cut off. She will score from second base. And the Bulldogs now lead 6-0. So Chloe Mala'ulu follows up Riley Hull's first collegiate hit. With an RBI single off the top of the wall. And the Dogs lead 6-0. And now runs 7 and 8 are on the bases. Still no one out. And here comes Mia Davidson, 1 home run away from tying the all-time SEC home run career record. Pitch is missing outside from Brown. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball lifted into left, drops in front of Doremus, and that'll be a single, and the bases are loaded. So bases are loaded for Mississippi State, and now a base hit could end the game. You've got runs 7 and 8 standing on base in scoring position, and Aquana Brownlee, who had a monster home run her first time up, now back up at the plate, facing Olivia Brown. Thought about a swing right there and decided to take it upstairs for ball 1. So Riley Hull had her first collegiate hit earlier today in game 1, and then follows that up with a single here in game 2. So Hull having herself a nice afternoon/evening with a couple of hits in her first collegiate home games for Mississippi State. Off speed upstairs. Mississippi State trying to put together yet another NCAA regional season. They have been a mainstay in the regionals the past 20 years, including last year when they finished with almost 40 wins. Made it to the finals of the Stillwater Regional, hosted by Oklahoma State. Got red hot at the end of the season. They were winless in conference play, and they went on a tear the last month of the season, winning every SEC series they played to finish out the last month of the season. Grounder to short, throw to first is in time. Run scores, though, as Hull will score from third base. That'll be another RBI for Brownlee. She has 2 RBIs in the ball game this evening. First out of the inning recorded on that putout. Advancing over to third is Mala'ulu. Mia Davidson goes to second. The Bulldogs have scored 3 runs here in the 6th and now lead 7-0. And now runner at third, less than 2 outs. Lots of ways to score that run and end the ball game right here. Matalasi Fa'apito steps in. the Bulldog DP. Fajapito today is 0 for 2. Was hit by a pitch in the second, grounded out in both the third and fifth innings. Looking for her first hit at home, her new home, after transferring in to Mississippi State from New Mexico State. Fajapito from Temecula, California. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Brown. Changed up speeds. And the count now 2 balls and a strike. A single from Riley Hull. A single from Chloe Mala'ulu as the count evens or goes now to 3-1. And then a Mia Davidson single. And then Aquana Brownlee grounded out to score a run. So the Bulldogs have gone station to station here in this 6th inning. Ball fouled back by Fajapito, and now the count is full. A base hit will end the game right here via the run rule. A sac fly would also end the game. Instead, Fajapito draws the walk, a quality at bat to once again load the bases for Mississippi State. And that will bring up Selena Daniel, who had a big double her last time up. Fajapito at first, Davidson at second, Mala'ulu at third. Less than 2 outs. Brown trying to get out of the jam and at least give her team a shot. Ball gets away. Coming in and scoring from third base is Chloe Mala'ulu, and that's how the ball game is going to end. State wins it in shutout fashion, 8-0 on a ball in the dirt that got away from the catcher. And Mala'ulu scores from third base, standing up 8-0 in 6 innings. The Bulldogs run rule and shut out the Hornets, and they sweep today's doubleheader 10-4 in game 1, 8-0 in game 2. The Bulldogs will now take the record on the year to an even 3-3. The Hornets fall to 2-4. Our next broadcast from Starkville will be this Saturday afternoon when the Bulldogs take on Central Arkansas and Georgia Tech. For our entire crew here in Starkville, I'm Anthony Craven saying thank you for tuning in. So long from News Park, where the Bulldogs are victorious in today's doubleheader. And we'll talk to you again from Starkville with more SEC softball very soon.